guys, welcome back to The Ratchet Christian. My name is Asmau and I am The Ratchet Christian. So I had planned to talk about something completely different today, but after watching the Surviving R. Kelly documentary, I'm like, no, I can't. I have to talk about being a survivor of sexual abuse and sexual assault because that documentary was just, wow, a lot. And I didn't realize how much it triggered me until I got on Facebook. I'm like just watching it. I'm like, okay, like that was horrible. Like this guy has major issues. But then when I got on Facebook and saw what people had to say about it, I just was even more floored by that. You know, like somebody had wrote a status like, wow, all the things R. Kelly did was horrible. You have to protect your kids. Be mindful of where you're sending them. But with all that being said, I'm still not going to stop listening to his music. What? Huh? And I saw like other statuses like, oh, y'all mad at R. Kelly, but if you're honest, you know, growing up, you had a few R. Kellys in your life. Okay, does that make it? Does that make the situation all right? Or even other ones that were blaming the girls, like, oh, they were fast. A majority of them were just trying to get a career. I'm like, these were kids. These were kids. He was the adult in the situation. No matter what their intentions was, no matter if they came on to him or not, like he was the adult in the situation, and he was clearly wrong. And so to not see everybody unanimously decide that R. Kelly is canceled now and forever, like that just like really triggered me. And you know what? I'm like, I need to talk about it. You know, I feel like I vaguely mentioned on here, you know, I talk about sex, I talk about, you know, healing, I talk about forgiveness, all that stuff. But it's like, I haven't just came right out and said that I myself am a survivor of, you know, sexual abuse, you know, as a kid, and then sexual assault throughout my young adulthood. You know what I mean? So it's like, this is like near and dear to me. This is something that I feel like my purpose is in, because even with the job that I have now, I work with young women who are victims of a variety of abuse, including sexual abuse. And a lot of them don't believe in God. A lot of them blame God. Like, if God loved me, why would he put me through this? And I'm always having to tell them, like, God has a greater purpose for everything. You know what I mean? If you allow him, he can 100% restore you, 100% heal you, and use all that bad things that happened in your life to turn you into a great person. And I just want to tell you that too, because I don't know who's watching this. I don't know what you've been through, but statistically speaking, 1 out of 4 of you guys watching this, if you're a woman, you've probably been sexually assaulted. 1 out of 6 of you, if you're a guy and you're watching this, you've probably been sexually assaulted. So this video is going to come on, it's going to fall on somebody's ears who has been through these things. And I just want you to know that God can heal you. You can be 100% restored to the person that you were before, to the person that God intended you to be prior to this assault, to this abuse. And I just want to walk you through it. And to give you guys some more statistics, it says 1 in 4 women and 1 out of 6 men are sexually abused in their lifetime. I know so many girls who have been molested or have been raped, and guys as well too. I know guys who don't even know that they've been sexually abused. You know, friends of mine who said, oh, I lost my virginity to a babysitter. That wasn't losing your virginity. Your babysitter took advantage of you. Your babysitter like raped you if she wasn't the same age as you, which I'm guessing she wasn't because she was your babysitter. You know what I mean? Like, I think guys need to know that they themselves can be victims of sexual assault too, and just because it's not spoken about often, it affects them just as much. And that was according to the Center for Family Justice.org. And 63% of women who had suffered sexual abuse by a family member also reported a rape or attempted rape after the age of 14. When I went to college, I got my degree in sociology and anthropology, so I took a lot of statistics stats classes, and I was just learning about so many statistics that I fell into as being a victim of like sexual abuse, seeing all the things that were going on in my life being written on paper saying, yeah, like this is what happens when you go through these things. And I'm just like, wow, like so many people don't get a chance to go to college. So many people don't have the opportunity to learn that. They don't do the things that they do just because they want to do them. You know, you're not going out of your way to be promiscuous or to, you know, be into drugs and do all these things for no reason. There's things that happen in your life that set you in a certain direction. And if you're not cognizant of it, you're going to think it's just you when it's really not. You know, there's things that, like I said, set you off in a different direction. But once you know knowledge is power, you can stop yourself and be like, okay, like this happened to me, but I'm not going to continue to let it go on this way. And just to touch on the statistics saying that if you've already been a victim of sexual abuse and sexual assault, your chances of being re-victimized go up astronomically. And I don't know why or how that happens, but if you've already been abused, your chances of being abused again go up even more. And I know that's true in my case. Like I said, I was sexually abused as a kid, and as a young girl, being a teenager, I was further, sexually assaulted. I remember when I was, I think maybe like 13 or 14, we had a house party at my house, and my sisters are like older than me, so they had like older guys there, and I'm walking like down the hallway to like go use the bathroom. Mind you, I'm in my house, minding my business, and I'm walking past one of the closets to go to the bathroom, and somebody opens the closet and pulls me inside. And I'm like, is this like a joke? Like, who's playing a joke on me? And so I get in the closet, and it's this guy that I've seen in our neighborhood like one or two times, and he starts trying to touch me, and I'm just like, no, like, stop. I don't know you. I don't want this to happen. And he would not let go of me. I remember literally having to ask him, like, please let me go. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking to myself, like, what kind of person is this that's literally going to try to rape me in my own house, in a house full of people? Luckily, he wasn't stupid enough to do that. He eventually let me go. But I never told anybody about that because I didn't think that was a big deal. But looking back on it now, like, that was a big deal. Like, this guy tried to rape me in my own house. And I just went on with life as usual, like, oh, that doesn't bother me. That doesn't affect me. And there are so many more instances like that where I'm like, oh, that doesn't bother me. That doesn't affect me. And once I was in college learning about these statistics, I'm like, all of those things affected me profoundly. You know what I mean? They affected me so much. And I'm sure they're affecting you too. So hopefully we can work through it together. But to continue with the statistics, stats, it says children in prolonged sexual abuse situations develop low self-esteem, which I had, feelings of worthlessness and inferiority, which I definitely had, and abnormal distorted views of sex, which I definitely had as well. And as I was watching the R. Kelly documentary, it was talking about how he himself had been a victim of molestation growing up. And the thing is like, when you've been abused, your chances of growing up to be an abuser go up to like 30%. You're more likely to abuse your children if you yourself have been abused. And it's like with the distorted views of sex, when you're introduced to sex the wrong way and far too young, you get distorted views of sex. Sex is a beautiful thing. It's a gift from God. And when somebody awakens that too soon in you, it really like distorts it and makes it all weird and makes it into something that is completely not. Like, I remember like after being sexually abused at the age of 7, there was always like pornography in my house. I've watched pornography at the age of 8 all the way up until I got saved, you know what I mean? And just having way more sexual partners that I'm proud of, way more sexual partners that I would have wanted, you know what I mean? Just having really distorted views of sex and being comfortable with things that I shouldn't have been comfortable with. And just knowing like, this is not okay. You know what I mean? Like, this is not the way things are supposed to be. And it's like, you may have distorted views of sex too, where sex to you is like an exchange, where it's like, okay, well, this is how I show people that I love them, or this is how I get what it is that I want. Like, it's not supposed to be that way. Sex is not supposed to be a power, a tool of control or power or manipulation or anything like that. It's supposed to be of love and something beautiful. And I know for a long time in my life, it just was not those things. And it's like, I thank God for Jesus because he makes all things new. And yeah, man, it just really messes you up. Like, it just really messes you up when you get introduced to sex way too young, in the wrong ways, by the wrong people. And it's not something that you can just brush off, you know what I mean? And this is talking about guys too. So to continue, it says, compared to those with no history of sexual abuse, young males who were sexually abused were 5 times more likely to cause teen pregnancy, 3 times more likely to have multiple sexual partners, 2 times more likely to have unprotected sex. And that's according to the victimsofcrime.org. So even guys that are like super promiscuous, oh, I need to have sex with 500 billion girls in one day, or when I was in college, like, I need to have like threesomes or something like that. Any type of sexually deviant thing that you're into, like, if you were introduced to sex the wrong way as a kid, whether it is your older brothers are having sex in the house while you're there and you're little, you're gonna know what's going on. Or you have people around you who are watching pornography, or you just, any type of way that you get exposed to it at the wrong age is going to set you off into a direction where guys don't get as much flack in society about being promiscuous, about being out there as girls do, but it affects them just the same, and it is still just an equal problem, you know what I mean? And so to continue on, people who've been sexually abused or sexually assaulted have higher rates of promiscuity, like I was just saying. Like, I remember like being in high school and like having people say like such horrible things about me. If I can be honest, it's like, I remember people calling me a hoe, calling me a slut, oh, she's a thought. Like, if you were to bring up my name, people probably would not have the nicest thing to say about me. Like, oh, Esmao, like, oh, she gets around, da-da-da. I just remember dating guys and just having that awful moment where they're like, oh, I heard about you. I'm like, dang, what'd you hear about me? People did not have positive things to say about me. In high school, people thought I was a slut. But they didn't know that I had so much going on in my life that caused me to have sex with guys, or that caused me to come to school with mini skirts on, high heels, just dressed in ways that I should not have been dressed. Had friends that were mostly guys that I thought were my friends, but literally just wanted to have sex with me. I had so much going on, and people don't see that. The people aren't there when you're being abused as a kid. They just see the results of you being like a fast teenager, or whatever they want to call it, or like a wild teenager. But it's like, you don't know what people have been through, so you need to be sympathetic. You need to be mindful. If somebody has just weird sexual behaviors, you don't know what may be the root of that. And that's not to excuse everybody, because there's some people who grew up in wonderful homes and just really enjoy sex, and there's nothing wrong with that too. But I'm talking about the other side, where it's like you don't know why you act the way that you act, and you're trying to stop, and you're seeing that it's like kind of hard or whatever. But basically, to continue on with the statistics, is like people who have been sexually abused and sexually assaulted also have higher rates of drug and alcohol abuse, higher rates of high-risk behaviors, higher rates of depression, anxiety, and a shorter lifespan. You're statistically known to live a shorter life, die sooner, if you've been part of some type of abuse or some type of assault sexually throughout your life. So this stuff really, really affects you. It affects both men and women greatly. When you get older, you're trying to form relationships, and you think it's just you. Oh, I just can't keep a man. No, you were never taught. Imagine somebody tells you to build a house and you've never seen a house before. That's like how it is trying to have a healthy sexual relationship, and trying to have a healthy relationship as an adult where you never experienced those things as a child. It's difficult, and it's only by the grace of God that I've been able to, reel it in, draw things back, and put it into like a normal perspective. And I want you to know that Jesus can do that for you too. Yeah? Okay. So we talked about a lot of dark, heavy things, but we're going to get to the good part, which is what can you do? Like, if you're listening to this and something happened to you, somebody touched you inappropriately, or you were assaulted as an adult and you have never told anybody, my thing is, in my opinion, I say confide in someone that you trust and someone that you know. Tell somebody. Don't walk around with this secret thinking that, oh, it's going to go away, because it's not. It's going to seep out in different ways of your life. You might think, oh, I'm just controlling, I'm just jealous, I'm just, I have trust issues and stuff like that. No, you've been violated in a major, major way, in a way that you need to be able to process verbally. So find somebody that you can trust in. If your parents are there and they're loving and they're kind, tell your parents. I don't care if it happened when you were 10 years old and you're 30 now. It's still affecting you. You need to tell somebody. I've heard so many pastors talking about this recently. Pastor John Gray revealed that he had been molested. Lecrae revealed that he had been molested. There's so many people that have been molested, and it affects you so profoundly. So no matter what age you are that it happened, no matter when it happened, it doesn't matter. You need to tell somebody. You need to let it out of your soul, let it out of your system, because it's just eating you up alive. So find somebody that you can trust in your family or a friend, anybody, and just let them know. I was lucky enough that when I told an adult what happened to me, they stepped into action right away and took me out of that situation. You know what I mean? And I'm grateful for that. And I know that's not everybody's experience. I know that I personally have heard stories where people have told their family, and their family was like, okay, you should have said something sooner. Like, what are you bringing it up for now? Or they have told their family, and their family was like, well, I don't really want to stir the boat. Like, I don't want there to be, drama in the family, so just forgive them. Like, know that when you tell your family or tell somebody, you may not get the response that you initially want, and that's wrong and that's upsetting. And I pray that you do, but just know that there's a chance that you might not. But don't let that stop you from getting whole. Don't let that stop you from getting healed. You go on to the next person. Find somebody who will believe you. Find somebody who will help you and listen to you. Don't stop until you get that. If you tell one person I don't believe you, okay, that's their problem. Go tell somebody that will believe you, because you know for a fact that it happened. And in 2019, don't be trying to be nobody's piece. I'm sorry. Like, there's so many people who hold family secrets, especially in the African community, especially in the Black community, you know, where we hold each other's secrets, and it's making people sick. It's making people miserable. And it's like in 2019, like, go and steal your peace. Don't hold your tongue for anybody. Yes, be respectful. Yes, be kind, whatever. But speak your truth. Let people know what it is that happened to you, because you don't know if that might stop somebody else from being re-victimized if you call out the person that has been doing these things to you. And so, yeah, don't protect other people at your own demise. You know, you don't have to like put them on blast, put them on social media, but you need to let somebody know that this happened and I don't want it to happen again. And then, like I said, don't be surprised if people don't believe you, if people don't have your back. That's okay. Keep going until somebody does, because you will find somebody who eventually will sit down and, you know, try to process this with you. And if you don't find that in like a family member or a friend, seek professional help. Go to therapy. I am a big proponent for therapy. I've been through a lot of therapy in my life because of the things that I mentioned before. You know what I mean? And so that's why I feel like I've been able to, you know, get past it. And I know you're sitting here thinking like, wow, how is she talking about all this stuff? Like, this is crazy. It's because I'm healed of it. You know, I'm whole, I'm complete. I've gone through the dark tunnel, and I'm just turning back and yelling down at the tunnel like, you can get out too. The route is this way, you know? And so it's like, the route is this way. It's Jesus, it's therapy, it's being honest, it's telling the truth, is letting people know what happened to you and not walking around with that secret and letting it eat you alive, because ain't nobody got time for that. It's 2019. We're gonna go get our blessings, but first you have to heal. Seek professional help. Go to therapy. Guys, go to therapy. Talk to somebody. If you don't have male friends who can sit down and have these type of conversations with you, go tell a professional. Like, it doesn't make you weak because you need to have therapy. If anything, it makes you strong, where you realize like, okay, like, this is a problem. I need help. I can't keep my relationships together because like I was abused as a kid. I hit my girlfriends because I saw my dad hitting my mom. Like, you have to do the work that is necessary to be happy. So many people want to be happy, but they don't want to do the work. Happiness is work. Healthiness is work. Living a good life is work. So if you're serious and you want this year to be different for you, you need to put in work, and you need to address this area of your life and not just think, oh, it's no big deal. It is a big deal. I'm ready to fight. As you can see, it just really gets me worked up because it's just near and dear to my heart. But like I said, like, seek professional help, but then also recognize your blind spots. I always say this to my friends. It's like, I know my blind spots. You know what I mean? Like, I know that perhaps I don't pick the best guys for myself because I've, you know, not had the best experiences with men. You know, perhaps like I'm not the most trusting person, or sometimes I'm too trusting, or I just know that there are certain things that I have to be more mindful of than the average woman. You know what I mean? And I need to be more mindful of protecting myself because of things that I've been through. And so it's like, that's the same to you. It's like, know where your blind spots are. Don't give up on love, but you just know that you need to love wiser. You need to make better choices about the people that you're around, and the areas that you choose to spend time in. So it's like, you don't have to let it ruin your life. If anything, just let it make you wiser, let it make you stronger, and let it make you a better person. You know what I mean? And so break the cycle of abuse. Call yourself out on your own self-destructive behaviors. I had to call myself out on my own self-destructive behaviors, you know, which one of those was drinking, you know, and as that statistics of those of the people who've been abused tend to go abuse alcohol or abuse drugs and stuff like that. And it's like, I wasn't an alcoholic, but it's like, I definitely was a binge drinker. You know, I went to Towson, we partied there. So it's like, I'm drinking, I'm blacking out, I'm having a great time, but it's like, this is not a good look for me. It's not safe for me. And it's not anything that's like adding to my life. So just know what your self-destructive behaviors are and be ready to call yourself out on them, because that's the only way that your life is going to improve. And then also, you have to make an effort to break the cycle. If you yourself have been abused, you have a higher likelihood of becoming an abuser. So you have to do that work to heal, to make sure that you don't go out there and hurt other people. There's so many men out there who themselves are hurt, and they still have that broken little boy inside of them, and then they're out there trying to love women, and in reality they don't have the skills to do it. That's why you see so many broken relationships, so many men who literally cannot hold it together, who always have to have a girl in their arms by their side. And it's like, no, you're just a broken little boy. Knowing that I was a broken little girl and I've done the work to heal myself, I can spot that like a mile away. I'm like, no, you need to get therapy. You're cute, but you need help. You're cute, but you have like some demons that you need to work through. Like, I've done my work. You're not gonna come bring that nonsense into my life. And so it's like, you need to do your work. Do your work to break the cycle. Because I know I want to have kids. I know I want to get married, and I know that I want to be loved properly. But I also want to be able to love other people properly. I want to be able to have children that I'm good to, children that I protect. And it's like you have to do the work to make sure that you're the type of person who can do those things. Because it's not going to just happen by accident. You're not going to just fall into great parenthood, fall into a great relationship. You have to do the work on yourself so that you can attract those things into your life, and not even attract those things, but make room for God to bless you in those type of ways. Break the cycle. You yourself don't become an abuser, but then also don't abuse yourself. There's so many times where it's like, you know what, once you've been through so much when you're younger, and you're finally like an adult, it's kind of like, well, okay, perfect. Now nobody else can abuse me. Now I'm going to go and abuse myself. Now I'm going to go and sleep with whoever I want to sleep with. Now I'm going to go and, do whatever it is that I want and be self-destructive. Well, you don't realize people, when you were younger, ruined your life. And now when you're older, you're ruining your own life. God showed me that I have the opportunity to re-raise myself. I have an opportunity to be the parent that I needed to myself. And it's like, now I treat myself like a baby. You know what I mean? Like, I treat myself good. Like, I'm like, self, do you want a nap? They're like, yeah, let's take a nap. Self, what do you want to eat today? Self, where do you want to go? Do you want me to buy you something? Like, I just love on myself, and I heal the little girl that's in me. You know what I mean? So it's like, yes, the people who had the opportunity to take care of you, probably didn't do the best job, but now you're in charge of you. So it's your turn to step up and do the right thing and take care of yourself and be kind to yourself and not re-victimize yourself. And so, guys, we're just going to close out with me summing it up by saying that with all of that being said, with all of that, which was a lot being said, God can restore you. God can restore you. I see so many people trying to repair something that's so deeply broken, and they don't take it back to the manufacturer. God is my manufacturer. God is your manufacturer. God is the one who made you. And so if you need a repair, you take it to him. I took it to God. I'm like, God, this is broken. I'm broken. I don't know how to have a long-lasting relationships. I don't want to be having sex outside of marriage. Like, people call me names. People talk bad about me. Like, I know the things people have said about me. You know what I mean? And I'm like, God, I know I'm not this person. I know I'm worth so much more than this. I know you didn't create me to be all these things that people call me, God. And it's like, I don't know how to fix it. I don't know. So I took it to God, and God literally has given me beauty for my ashes. I took everything to him, and really got serious about my relationship with Jesus, and got honest with myself, and just told God, whatever you have to do, like, do that. I just want to be a whole person. I don't want to be miserable anymore. I don't want to be sad anymore. And God was like, perfect. All I need is for you to surrender, and I'll do the rest. And God has. He's delivered me from so much. The spirit of lust, spirit of rejection, spirit of, insecurity, inferiority, low self-esteem, just so many things. It's like, I'm just sitting here feeling so whole, and I never thought that I could feel this way before. And I want to come and tell you that you can get to that place too, where you're feeling whole and you're feeling complete. You don't have to walk around broken for the rest of your life. You need to take your problems to the manufacturer and let him heal it. Let him fix it. Get saved. If you're not saved, go to church. Give your life to Jesus. I wish I could tell you that there's other ways, and I'm sure therapy will help, yoga and exercise, all those things will help. But I'm talking about healing. I'm talking about fixing, complete restoration. Only God can do that. God made us, so we have to take it back to him so that he can repair us. And so, like I said, get saved. Ask God to deliver you and heal you completely. God can restore you completely. You don't have to walk around halfway broken. You know what I mean? And also ask God to help you to forgive people. I forgive anybody who's ever done anything to me. I'm not worried about it. I'm not thinking about it. And I don't spend my time thinking about it. It was only this R. Kelly situation that made me think about it. I'm like, something's wrong with people. This is a problem. But anytime other than that, I'm fine. I go out, I live my life. It's not something that, comes, I barely don't even think about it, if I'm being honest. But this situation has jolted it back into my memory. But it's like, God can heal you. God can restore you. God can give you that peace that you're longing for. And so to just close us out with scripture, 1 Peter 5 verse 10 says, "And the God of all grace, who called you to his eternal glory in Christ, after you have suffered a little while, will himself restore you and make you strong, firm, and steadfast." The way I have suffered, I have suffered, and I know that you have suffered, but God has restored me. God has made me whole. God has gave me beauty for my ashes, and I don't take back anything that happened to me, because it's because of that I have something to say. It's because of that I can sit here and make this video and let you know that you're going to be okay. You know, all things work together for our good, and I know that all of those things work together for my good. And same for you. All those things are going to work out for your good as well. And so to go on to Jeremiah 17 verse 14, it says, "Heal me, O Lord, and I will be healed. Save me, and I will be saved. For you are the one I praise. Heal me, and I will be healed. Save me, and I will be saved." It's as simple as that. God, heal me. Okay, you're healed. God, save me. Okay, you're saved. Take it to God. And to go on to Psalms 71 verses 20 through 21, it says, "Though you have made me see troubles, many and bitter, you will restore my life again from the depths of the earth. You will again bring me up. You will increase my honor and comfort me once more." I'm going to read that again because it was so good. Psalm 71 verses 20 through 21 says, "Though you have made me see troubles, many and bitter made me..." What? Okay. Listen, we're going to get this out because it's good. Psalm 71 verses 20 through 21 says, "Though you have made me see troubles, many and bitter, you will restore my life again from the depths of the earth. You will again bring me up. You will increase my honor and comfort me once more." God has increased my honor and comforted me once more. And God can do the same things in your life. You know what I mean? And so don't just survive. Don't be a survivor of sexual assault and sexual abuse. Be a thriver. Like, don't just be like barely scraping by in life. No, like God can restore you. Jesus came so that we can have life and have it more abundantly. You can still have an abundant life. You can still have an amazing life. You can love. You can be whole. You can have a healthy sex life. You can find somebody who loves you and respects you and would never treat you in any kind of way that somebody in the past has treated you. But it's like, we have to bring those things to God, and in his timing, he will bring all those things to pass. And so, yeah, just if you're really looking for your breakthrough in 2019, and you know this is something that has been going on in your life, like this is a blessing blocker. So it's not that God doesn't want to bless you. God is not listening to your prayers. He is, but these types of things, these deep internal wounds get in the way. How can we receive when we're so utterly and completely broken? So do the work of healing this year, and once you've done your work of healing, don't survive, just thrive. You go on, you have an amazing life, you have a beautiful life, and you pray for those people who did whatever it is that they did to you, because they're probably miserable, you know, and they themselves probably have been victims themselves growing up. Whatever their issue is, whatever, it has nothing to do with you. Just know that God can restore you. You know, if I can sum it up, just know that God can restore you. Bring those problems to Jesus. Don't try to solve it on your own. Seek therapy, confide in family and friends, and just know that God can make you brand new. You're never too far to come back home. You've never done too much to be loved by God. It doesn't matter how many bodies you got. It doesn't matter if you've had an abortion. It doesn't matter what it is that you've done. God loves you. God will restore you. Bring it to him, and he has your back. And if you need somebody to talk about it, I'm here as well. If you don't have a family member or a friend that you can confide in, I'll be that for you. And so don't be shy to jump in my DMs, or if you know me personally, text me, and we're gonna work this out, because I'm not playing, and God is not playing. God wants you to have an amazing, miraculous life. So bring it to him, and the two of you together will make it happen. I love you guys so much, and I appreciate you for sitting through this, and I will probably see you tomorrow. I think I might do a video tomorrow. We'll see. But yeah, thanks guys. Have a blessed week.